What's up, idols? It's CC Lesson 3. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. So I actually filmed a video yesterday with Marika, and that was what I was going to upload today. But then I woke up to an email and I got to spill this tea. I'm still shooketh. Also, I want to give you guys a quick update for my patrons and for those who are interested in joining Patreon. Tomorrow, I have a new video that I'm about to upload there, and it's about a girl who found out she was a victim of molka, which is like spy cams, and being blackmailed with it. So that's going to take some time to get through because it's a tough story, and be on the lookout for that tomorrow on Patreon. For this video, we're going to jump right in. She asked to be called Moana because she's excited about the sequel coming out in November, and her man in the story will be called Jay. They're a happy couple now, but it took quite a while to get here because he had some friends that tried everything to break them up. What did they do? Why did they do it? We'll get into all that really soon, but first let's go over how they met. They met on Tinder. It's not quite what you think. So Moana actually initially matched with one of Jay's friends on Tinder. And for this story, we'll call him Min-hyuk. After they talked for a few days, they decided they should meet in person because things were going really well chatting online. They agreed to meet for dinner, but once they met in person at dinner, things weren't quite the same. Like, the vibes weren't really there, and there was one key difference. So online, while she was chatting with him, his English was fine, and he said that he was fluent. Like, he studies often, he studies from childhood. A lot of Korean people learn English when they're a kid, so he speaks it really well. But when they met in person, suddenly he was easily confused. He had to, I'm sorry, one more time, like repeat that. And he was using papago a lot to translate what she was saying. And she's also super new to Korea, so she hasn't spent that much time studying the language herself yet. She just decided one day, I'm gonna move to Korea, and she did that. So yeah, in person, the conversation feels a lot more forced, less natural, and there's a huge language barrier. So she's pretty sure that when they were messaging online in Tinder and on Kakao, he was using like a translator to communicate more effectively. Is that like language catfish? When you pretend to speak a language that you can't? So she said their dinner was filled with a lot of awkward smiles and a lot of texting it and then showing you what I'm saying, and she didn't want a relationship like that. Like, sure, okay, we got an awkward date out of the way, that's fine, but this isn't really gonna go anywhere. So they finished dinner, and Moana was pretty sure like that was it, not gonna hear from him again, not gonna see him again, like this was just really awkward. But Min-hyuk messaged her, and again he sounded all fluent, and he said he can't wait to do this again. He hopes that they can see each other again soon. He said he would love to go on another date with her. She wasn't interested, so she decided to wait till the next day to reply. She didn't want to ghost him, but she also just wasn't interested. She's like, what do I say to not sound rude? So Moana told him, like, you seem really nice, but I don't know how seriously we could date since we can't communicate with each other. I just moved here. I don't speak Korean very well. You don't speak English that well. There's nothing really gonna happen here. And Min-hyuk is again like, wait, but I speak English so well. I've been studying since I was a kid. It's like, dog, y'all just met and y'all could not communicate in person. Like, you can use a translator online, sure, but don't say because you can use a translator you can speak the language. So she said it would be nice if they could be friends because she is new here, she wants to meet more people, but she doesn't see anything romantic happening with them. You know, it usually makes things a little bit easier when things don't work out. Like, you know, but we could be friends. You know, not a lot of people don't want to hear that because obviously they want more than a friendship, but at least you're not being like mean about it, you know? It's an olive branch. And to that message, he did not respond. So she's like, okay, well, I guess that's it. He's not interested in being friends. That's cool. On to the next. But a few days did go by and he responded and said, yeah, cool, we can be friends, and asked what she was doing the upcoming weekend. She said she didn't have any plans. He said, well, a few of my friends are getting together in a park. If you want to come and join us, you can meet my friends and they can be your friends. He's like, they can help you with Korean. You can help us with English. And she was like, you know what? Yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun. Plus, she was delighted to hear that it wouldn't be just her and Min-hyuk. She's like, well, there's going to be a few people there. It won't be just us, so it won't be awkward.
That is not correct.
She was absolutely delighted about the idea of having a picnic in the park. Like, that sounded really fun. So she asked Min-hyuk what the plan was, and he said, well, everyone's going to bring a little bit of something, so maybe you could bring some makgeolli or some bread. Sweet bread. Dalkombang. In the days leading up to the park hangout, he was really responsive. They didn't talk like too much, but he was really encouraging. She was looking forward to seeing him and hearing from him again. She's like, you know what, maybe we could actually be friends. Like, he's inviting me to meet his friends. He's not being flirty anymore. Like, I think we can actually be good friends. He was also updating her like, okay, so now it's going to be 6 friends. This is how many people. Since there's going to be more, maybe you should bring 2 bottles of makgeolli and things like that. And he even told her that his friends were really excited to meet her. Like, the girls there were excited to hear about the guys in the US, and like the guys there were curious to ask about the girls from the US. But he also seemed to find it important to distinguish that the girls were only friends, like 여자만 친구들, like girl only friend. 그냥 여자만 친구들. Either way, he made it like clear to be like, oh no, but they're just girlfriends. Like they're not my girlfriends. They're girls who happen to be my friends. She's like, dude, chill. I don't care. And this was the first time she found out girls were going too. She's like, oh, thank God, it won't be just me with a group of guys in the park. So jumping ahead to this park hangout, and Moana was running horribly late because she got very lost. She did her best to speak Korean and try to ask locals for directions, but she didn't specify which park, so they sent her to the nearest park to their current location, which was the wrong park. Minhyuk is asking her where she is, and she's like, I don't really know, actually. Luckily for them both, Minhyuk has a friend named Jay who speaks English fluently, like he's actually fluent. So he says, I have a friend, he's gonna call you and guide you to where we are now. So she gets a Kakao message followed by a Kakao phone call from someone like, hi, hello, my name is Jay, is this Moana? And he's asking where she is now, I can lead you to us. So he went to the nearest station to where they were in the park and said, I'll meet you here and like, I'm gonna guide you to how to get here. So luckily it didn't take too long because the trains in Korea are super fast and very convenient and very affordable, and I miss them so much. But I'll be back there soon, yay. So once she gets there, he waves her down like, hi, Moana, over here. And once she gets there, of course, she's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, I'm so late, I got lost, this is what happened. He's like, no, it's okay, I totally understand, you're new here, right? And they strike up a really nice conversation, and she was like, wow, like you're actually fluent, like wow, that's impressive. And he says, oh, I actually have dual citizenship, like my mom is Korean Canadian and my dad is Korean. I was born there, but I've been here for like the last 13 years, so I have both. And yeah, so I go to Canada a lot and I'm here a lot, so I just go back and forth. And she's like, oh good, that's nice to meet you, you can translate for us when we get lost or confused, because I don't know if his friends can actually speak English, because he actually told me he could speak English, but his English is not as good as he said it was. So he's like, oh yeah, no worries, so how did you meet Minhyuk? And she's like, Tinder. We met on Tinder. And he's like, oh, it's nothing wrong with Tinder, but what happened? And she told him that they only went on the one date because they had a bit of a language barrier. They couldn't really communicate with each other. Like she just started learning Korean and his English wasn't as good as he maybe thinks it is. And at first she says she thinks he kind of took pity on her by inviting her to this park hangout to meet his friends. And Jay's like, no, I see why he invited you. You seem sweet and you're really cute. Sir. Jay also said that the friends were really excited to meet foreigners, and they were like that when Jay first got there and met them too, because like technically he is a foreigner. He wasn't born in Korea, even though he's ethnically Korean. But then she's like, yeah, I just really hope that Minhyuk understands that we're only friends. Please keep this in mind for later in the story. She is very clear about only wanting friendship with him and nothing more than that. But she felt it necessary to clarify this point in front of Jay, because she's like, Jay is cute, like he's my type and he speaks English. And he's really friendly and sweet so far. Like he walked all the way over here to meet me. He's nice. He's hot. I hope he's single. So Moana does that thing, like, when you are interested in someone, but you want to find out if they're single without just outright asking. So she's like, oh yeah, they seem like they're going to be really nice people. So do you bring your girlfriend to hang out too? Like, what's the deal with that? So he's cracking up. He's like, okay, smooth. I see what you did there, but no, I don't have a girlfriend. And Moana was genuinely shocked. She's like, how is that possible? Why don't you have a girlfriend? So then he joked that maybe people assume that he has a girlfriend. Like she just assumed that he has a girlfriend and they won't approach him and say hi because they think he's already taken. And then he says, if girls like you on Tinder, maybe I should give it a shot. Because I guess he doesn't do online dating, which can you blame him? So like, there is definitely something between these two right now, right? We're gonna find out what's happening between Jay and Moana after we thank today's sponsor of the video. I'm just kidding, there's no sponsor. I just want to thank you guys so much for watching, if you still are watching, and to please subscribe if you haven't already. Please leave a like on this video if you like this kind of content. If you're still watching, please leave a comment that says the tea is hot. But yeah, all these things help to increase the video's reach on YouTube, helping to promote it. So 정말 감사합니다. Right, so Moana and Jay finally make it back to the group of friends waiting, because at this point they've been gone a while because she got lost. And what was nice is Jay took the liberty of introducing her to everyone in Korean. This is Moana. She's 26 from the States. She only got here a few months ago. She's teaching English here. Please be nice to her. She's excited to meet you, that sort of thing. So everyone was smiling except for Minhyuk. Minhyuk looked concerned and asked her if she was okay. She's like, yeah, I'm totally fine. I'm just really sorry that I'm late. I got lost. And then Minhyuk and Jay said something to each other in Korean. She doesn't know what it was, but Minhyuk seemed so serious about it. So while that's going on, the friends are coming up and introducing themselves to Moana like, hi, my name is Jessie. My name is Yuna. I'm Supin. I'm fine. Thank you. And you? She said they did their absolute best to speak English, but she could tell some of them really didn't speak it that well. And not that she expects them to or anything. Like, she's in their country. She knows that she needs to learn Korean, but she only recently decided to go to Korea. So this is only recently that she started studying. So whenever people there do speak English, she was much relieved. One thing she said was even the people who spoke very little English, their pronunciation was so good, and she was so confused how that worked. She's like, wait, you don't speak English, but you sound like you do. How did that happen? So they get the introductions out of the way. They offer her cake, they offer her sweets, they offer her some chicken, and she actually had no problem speaking with most of them. Like, it was good so far. So then Jake comes back over to the group after talking with Min-hyuk about who knows what, and he's like, is everyone being nice? Is everyone behaving? She's like, yeah, they're being so nice. And she's like, they're feeding me. So then when Min-hyuk rejoined the group as well, he asked Jay and Moana if they knew each other. She's like, we just met when he met me at the station. Like, what are you talking about? Min-hyuk looked pissed off and she could not figure out why. So for this whole little picnic encounter, Jay is kind of staying right by her side to make sure she can understand them and they can understand her, which is very nice. Min-hyuk though is not really making any effort to talk with her or to her or anything. He looks really upset still. They're asking her questions like, what do you prefer, the US or Korea? Is the US better? Should I move there? I kind of want to leave Korea. Is it safe? The guys are asking her about foreign girls and do they like Korean guys and stuff like that. But the best question yet was when one of the girls asked Moana what her ideal type was. And what's funny about this is Jay is there to like translate whatever they can't understand. So he's saying her type when he is her type, but he don't know it just yet. And before she can really get into it, Min-hyuk's like, well, I think I might be her type because we did match on Tinder. So then one of the friends asked how come they only went on one date.
Finish him. Fatality.
He said he didn't really know, and they looked at Moana like, how come y'all only went on the one date? And she said they can't communicate. Like, he doesn't speak English, she doesn't speak Korean. It's that simple. For some reason, that made Jay laugh, and that's when Min-hyuk got even more upset. So yeah, I think we can all see that it's pretty clear that Min-hyuk wants more than a friendship with Moana, but Moana does not want that. She's looking at Jay. And his friend's like, yeah, you know, communication is everything. Communication is vital. You can't have a relationship if you can't communicate. And then Min-hyuk stayed quiet. He didn't really have much else to say after that. So then finally they get to back to the question where she says, oh, my ideal type is someone who's nice and I like them taller, and you know, I actually really like guys who are bilingual, which like she's like looking at Jay at this point like, you are my type, just dropping all the hints. So the first meeting went well. She got to meet some nice girls, some nice guys. She got to meet Jay. She now has Jay's number because he called her on Kakao and texted her on Kakao, so she's happy to leave here with his number. Jay asked her if she'd be okay heading home alone. She's like, yeah, you know, I got it. I'm sorry, I just got lost coming to this park, but I know my address. I know how to get back there. So later that night when they all left and went home, Min-hyuk sent her a message, said, can't wait to see you again soon. So Moana, not wanting to be rude or leave him on red or anything like that, she just responded back with a smiley emoji. Like, yeah, same. But she's also thinking if he's gonna be like that all the time, this is not gonna be a friendship. Like, the way he gets all upset and defensive and quiet like that, it's not gonna work out for friendship. Jay, on the other hand, she happily stayed in communication with him. But Jay did start to feel weird about this because I think everyone there knew that Min-hyuk liked Moana. So Jay decided to ask Moana flat out, like, do you like him? What happened between you? What is this? He asked if they're gonna see each other again.
Fuck no!
She said, no, we haven't even talked much since the picnic. Like, I respond to be polite, but I don't want to see him again. I don't need to see him again. And Jay was confused because he then sent Moana a screenshot of something that Min-hyuk said to Jay about Moana. Min-hyuk is sending Jay messages like, I think we'll go to the movies next time. She looks so good in pink. I can't wait to see her again. I hope things keep going well with us. So Moana responded to that by sending Jay the last thing that she sent to Min-hyuk. I'm sorry, I'm trying to keep track. So the last messages that she had from him was when he said, I can't wait to see you again. She sent the smiley emoji. And the next day he said, when are you free again? And then she said she didn't know. And then he said, hopefully soon. And that was literally it. Nothing about movies, nothing about her even wearing pink, and that message indicates that anything is going well. And Moana put it out there. She said, look, I met up with him and wanted to meet his friends because I genuinely hoped we could be friends. I'm new here. I want to meet people, but I'm actually interested in you, Jay. And then Jay's like, so should we go out? And Moana said, yes, we should. So then they agree they need to be really careful proceeding with this while Min-hyuk is out there thinking something's going on with him and Moana because there's nothing there. So they meet up for dinner and things go just as well as it did in the park. There's sparks, there's vibes, there's chemistry, they're laughing. The conversation is just natural. She said this was definitely something really good. And it was the complete opposite of what happened with her and Min-hyuk. So now that they mutually agree that they like each other and they want to keep seeing each other, they need to address this Min-hyuk situation directly. Jay says he'll do it because they're friends. And he'll just talk to him flat out and maturely and say, look, we're seeing each other. I think, you know, you guys had a bad first date and I'm sorry, but she likes me, I like her, that's the situation. And the reason he wanted to do this because still, while Jay and Moana are seeing each other, Minhyuk is sending Jay messages like, oh, you know, I'll see her again soon, things are going well, and how much he likes her, and makes it seem like they are actually talking with each other and flirting with each other. And Moana's like, I have not talked to this boy. She says she only occasionally responded so she wouldn't just ghost him and be mean. So Jay and Minhyuk have this talk, and Jay leaves the phone call with the understanding that Minhyuk understands the situation fully. And he seemed cool about it. So then he tells Moana it went well. Hopefully the weirdness will stop. Obviously, we're making this video for a reason. It did not stop. The weirdness kept going. The next day, Minhyuk messaged Moana, and he was angry. He says, you want to get between two friends? You can't date us both. Make up your mind. Jay doesn't see what you're doing, but I do. Unacceptable.
Is this nigga serious?
So she screenshots this and shows Jay, like, I don't know what kind of conversation y'all had, but clearly it didn't fix anything. And Jay also says, yeah, I woke up to some of this too, because they're all in a group chat. And he sends the screenshots of what they're saying in the group chat to Moana, because they're talking about Moana. They're saying stuff like foreigners always cause problems. Why is Moana dating two friends at the same time? Why isn't Jay more upset about this? And they're like, oh, poor Minhyuk. So yeah, apparently Minhyuk's been telling everybody, just like he's been telling Jay, that Moana and him are dating, and she's actively dating two friends at the same time. I don't know the words at the same damn time. And he says the reason he invited Moana to meet the friends is because he thought things were heading in a serious direction, and when you're in a serious relationship, you gotta introduce your partner to your friends. But some of the friends were there and they're like, I remember things a little differently. We even asked her why y'all only went on one date, and she said y'all were just friends because y'all can't communicate. So there's a lot of confusion and drama right now. And some of them were defending her. They're like, I don't know, she just doesn't seem like that kind of girl. But some of them are like, foreigners act innocent, but it's all fake. Guilty. And then Minhyuk is saying that she changed her mind after the picnic. After meeting his friends, she wanted to be more serious with Minhyuk, but also she wants Jay at the same time too, which is a full-blown lie, by the way. So then that's when Jay decides to send the same screenshot that Moana sent him, put it in the chat so they can all see exactly what went down with Moana and Minhyuk directly, where he's like, can't wait to see you again. She's like, smiley face. And he's like, when do you think you'll be free? And she's like, I don't know. And he's like, hopefully soon. And she doesn't respond. And then he starts to say, you can't get between two friends. You can't date us both at the same time. Jay doesn't see what you're doing, but I see what you're doing. Unacceptable. So now they're able to see all of this and they're confused. They're like, none of this indicates that you guys are dating. But Minhyuk is also in this group chat, right? And he says, oh, those messages are fake.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
So then Jay says, okay, well, can you show us the real ones? And of course he didn't have them anymore. He had an excuse for why he couldn't produce these screenshots. No evidence whatsoever on his part. And then he also says they did a lot of their communicating on the phone. But remember, he does not speak English that well and she does not speak Korean, so how were they talking on the phone? But then Minhyuk doubles down on how foreign girls are always like this.
Stop it. Get some help.
And asking Jay how he can possibly believe Moana over him, their friends. Korean girls are more honest, less complicated, and way better for him going forward. But at this point, most people in the chat were like, Minhyuk, it's not worth it, bro. Like, chill.
Daddy, chill.
What the hell is even that?
So Jay had this idea about them all meeting up in person to clear this up face to face. No more screenshots, no more she said this, he said that. Let's all hear it directly from the source. He said he didn't want them hating her for no reason because like they're dating. Like we're all friends here. I want you to get along with my girlfriend. Sorry, getting ahead of myself a little bit here. Plus, he's upset because he's also technically a foreigner. Like he's from Canada. So he's like, what do you mean foreigners are always like this? So he tells Moana the plan for them to meet up and she don't like it. She said, no, I don't want no part in this. If they don't like me, that's fine. They won't even give me a chance. But Jay managed to convince her to go. And Minhyuk does not know that Moana's going to be there. So they're going to have Moana come last because Minhyuk would obviously make an excuse or reason to not show up. So they're going to meet at Jay's place. And Moana was kind of nervous because this is the first time she's been to his apartment. She's never been there before. So when they all first got to Jay's place, everything seemed like it was before Moana was a part of the picture. No one was mad. There was no drama. There was no... It's like none of that ever happened with Moana. So he was kind of confused. Like, how are we going to start talking about this if nobody wants to acknowledge what's happening right now? So then one of the girlfriends there, she says, hey, Minhyuk, you know, I got this really sweet girl. I think you guys would hit it off. And Minhyuk's like, why would I want to date your friend if I'm still trying to make things work with Moana?
Stop doing that! Stop!
And everybody's like, oh, this boy is like actually Delulu. So after a while, Moana finally showed up. Jay's like, okay, you should come now. And once she got there, everything was so awkward. You could cut the tension with a knife. You could hear a pin drop. You could probably hear a fly sneeze if they sneeze. So they asked her plainly. All the friends are like, girl, like, what's happening? Chikamoyo, like, what's going on right now? So she says plainly and as simple English as she possibly can. She said, I matched Min-hyuk on Tinder. We went on one date after talking for a few days. When we met, we can't communicate. There's no relationship, only friendship. He invites me to meet you guys to make more friends. I met Jay, and now I like Jay. We went on a date, and we talk often, and I want to keep seeing him. And that's it. She even offered her phone, like, as evidence. Like, if you guys want to go through the messages, you can see what me and Jay talk about. You can see what me and Min-hyuk talk about. And Jay said that he also explained this to Min-hyuk, and Min-hyuk seemed cool with it at the time. So he said he genuinely didn't understand where this "you're coming in between two friends" narrative came from. Moana and Jay apologized to Min-hyuk, but said this is the situation. So then Min-hyuk says, okay, I'm sorry, this is all just a misunderstanding. He says Moana was sending mixed signals. So then Moana asks, okay, what mixed signal? Like, what did I do? What did I say to make you think that I liked you more than a friend? So then he brings up the smiley emojis. Smiling means you like somebody now. You're friendly. She's even said, I kept giving you reasons why we couldn't meet. If I liked you, wouldn't I meet with you like I've been meeting with Jay? She said, I know he's your friend, but that doesn't make it okay to lie. I wasn't flirting with you, and I never asked to meet with you again. And this is actually the first time she's seen Min-hyuk since that picnic in the park. And she's like, you guys all started to hate me for no reason. But then they were like, no, we didn't hate you. We just felt really bad for Min-hyuk. And it's like, you don't just throw around, oh, foreigners are like this. Foreigners are the problem. They always act innocent out of sympathy for somebody else. Like, is that racist? But then for the people who aren't there, like, physically, but are in the group chat, they're like updating the group chat, like, all right guys, there was a misunderstanding. Jay and Moana are seeing each other. It is what it is. Min-hyuk misunderstood and he lied. So after a while, Min-hyuk said he had to go, which they were expecting. And luckily, up to this point, no one's brought up the whole Min-hyuk, Jay, Moana love triangle drama since this night, since this meeting, since they cleared the air. She says she's only seen these other people a handful of times, but they've been nice to her, but she only sees them occasionally because of Jay. But they did officially become boyfriend and girlfriend. That's why, sorry, I jumped the gun a little bit, got a little bit ahead of myself. And apparently Min-hyuk is seeing another girl, but they don't know if she actually exists because they've never met her. And he won't let them see pictures of her for some reason.
You ain't got to lie.
Min-hyuk.
You ain't got to lie.
Ain't nobody lying.
They're like, oh, maybe he thinks since the last Tinder girl went so bad, he thinks it'll jinx it and it'll go bad this time too. They don't know. Maybe he's just saying this to try and feel better and stay face. Like, I've already got another girl. I'm not worried about Moana anymore. But yeah, she said, bottom line, Tinder sucks. The Tinder boys are still weird, but at least she got to meet Jay in the process. But yeah, guys, that was this tea. Oh my dice. Did not expect that. I also really want to thank each and every one of you who submit these stories to me, because these are long. Like, it takes effort and time to recall details, to send pictures, send screenshots, send evidence, gather your story, put it into organized thought, and then put it on paper. And I really appreciate it. I think everyone here who watches these videos really appreciate it. Some people are reliving horrible situations. Some people are spreading the love. Some people are just trying to warn you. Some people are just trying to keep it real. So I really appreciate it. Every single time we get these stories, I'm like, ooh, yay, another one.
Another one. I appreciate you.
If you want to see more dating in Korea story times like this, please binge the playlist. It's about to pop up on the end screen. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you did, remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I will see you guys next time. Annyeong.